Welcome to Pete Daddy Dollars Pad presents the super terrific Happy Fun Time Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Pete Daddy Dollar, Etepokuin, and the place to be reviews. I am here with all of you this evening. Joining me on the panel, brother Will Vendetta. How you doing, Will?
Yo, what's up? Hey, right off rip here, I just got to say this while it's fresh in my head. So when I decide to return to the ring, whenever that is, I got this new finishing move. I'm going to call it the COVID clutch, which is exactly like the camel clutch, except I cough in your face. Yeah. I'm a dick.
Yeah, that's savage. Also joining us this evening, he is from the World-Class Bullshitters. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Kendo Slice.
Hey, good to be here.
All right, man. Thank you for joining us, Kendo. Now we're going to talk some pro wrestling. We're going to start out with since you and Will have, you said you watched some of WrestleMania. I wasn't going to sign up for a free trial on the network. I dumped my subscription a while ago. It was either YouTube Premium or the WWE Network, and I went with YouTube Premium because the ads are just, you know what I mean? But so WrestleMania 36. Now this was a empty arena. Now they did this at the Performance Center. This is unprecedented. And Kendo, I want you to go ahead and start off. Give me some of your thoughts on this, and how you think it kind of went over the course of the night. How the boys played their parts here in this kind of groundbreaking type performance.
They did their best to put on a really good show. The problem is without any audience there or anything like that, it kind of just defeated the whole purpose. I mean, that's one of the big things about WrestleMania is you've got fuckloads of people around to watch a wrestling show and popping on the big maneuvers, the big spots, the big story, things of that nature, and instead you've got just an empty building and you hear the guys talking to each other and the announcers, and that's about it. And it's just it was what it was. It was a glorified TV taping just with no audience.
Yeah, that it reminds me of the old Mid-South or kind of Smoky Mountain type studio feels to it, the way you describe it. Just God, I would have at least, if I was in production, what's his name there with the big teeth, Kevin Dunn, I would have piped some crowd noise in. And say what you want about it, but as a worker, I would have rather had something than nothing, even if it was canned heat like that. I think it would have kind of helped a little bit. Like you said, there's no getting over the fact that you don't have a crowd there for the big spots and stuff like that. But it's still, to have a little bit of noise. Will, we've both been in the ring, and like I said, we talked a little bit off air about working in front of empty crowds, on independent shows. So I can't imagine being at that level and having no crowd.
It reminds me of back when IWE started at the Mac TV studios, where you had like maybe 10 people, but most of those 10 people were probably like your friends or family. And we used to do record the episodes in this little, it was shit. This studio is probably no bigger than my damn kitchen. But so it kind of I kind of relate to it though. And so I mean, I kind of think it's cool. I mean, I get it though. I get it. Definitely the fans make it. I mean, you got to have someone to work. That's what makes wrestling. But yeah, I mean, so I get it, you're making the best out of a situation, really.
Yeah. And at that point, what else can you do?
Right. I mean, at least, you got all these other sports that like NFL, MLB, all them, NBA, everything's shut down. Not pro wrestling though. So that's like, maybe, who knows, maybe, Major League Baseball and even the NFL, depending on how long this goes, maybe they kind of step in those footsteps too. Empty arena games or something. I don't know. It's a chance. that could happen. You know, I mean, seeing the Lions play in an empty arena can't be any worse than seeing the Lions play in front of 50,000 people or whatever.
First of all, I gotta give a shout out to the St. Louis Battlehawks. We got to give a caw for the Battlehawks. They were doing good. Then the season got shut down.
XFL,
yeah. Cause law.
Cause the law. Yep.
Yeah. Damn, that sucks too. I kind of forgot about XFL and how like right in the middle of their season just shut down. Sucks, and they were doing good.
That's got to be hurting Vince right now too. I mean, that's he's got a lot of irons in the fire here. And he was off to I'd say a much better start with it this time than the previous iteration, because I remember watching it back in, it was 2000 or 2001 that kicked off. But I mean, to kind of round it back to WrestleMania though, I mean, this at least you're losing so much money on everything for the empty arena show. I mean, obviously it's your tickets and all that, it hurts, but you still you're still putting on the card, so people are still going to watch. The only thing is, with the network now, you're not getting those big pay-per-view buy rates like you used to.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yep. Which I guess he doesn't need it now.
This but I give credit to the workers for still putting on matches. And which did you watch? What'd you watch match wise, Kendo?
I think I watched the 2 title matches. Well, the 2. All right, so the 2 maiden men's title matches, the Buried Alive match. I skipped through Edge and Orton because it was way too damn long. I'm trying to think what else I watched. Firefly Funhouse. I think there was that's the only thing those are the only ones I actually watched. There was a lot of just like skimming through some of the matches just because I didn't particularly care too much for the result one way or another.
Yeah, I'm looking right now because we'll run through the card real quick. Cesaro, this is Saturday night. Cesaro and Drew Gulak on the kickoff show. Cesaro went over by pinfall. Cesaro is relegated to the kickoff show now.
Poor guy.
He's been relegated to worse than that over the last couple of years. I mean,
yeah,
there's sometimes he doesn't even show up because they don't have anything for him he just isn't on TV.
Yeah, he's just mainly working house shows, which is kind of a shame because I really liked him a couple of years ago when he was teamed with Sheamus. I mean, that might be longer than a couple of years ago. I can't really remember. It's been a while, but he's the guy's a good worker. He's solid.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have his gimmick with Sheamus was great because Cesaro by himself, he's still good because his promos, even though he's not the best on the microphone, he's very expressive and he gets his shit over really well with the crowd. So, and the crowd always pops for him either way.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that I'd like to see him, back in the better graces of the booking department, but that is what it is in WWE. Women's tag team title, the Kabuki Warriors versus Bliss and Cross, and Bliss and Cross went over to win the titles. I don't really. I mean, what's her name? Asuka. They've buried her.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God! Yeah,
ruined her.
I don't know what the hell she was doing. Because I watched that Monday Night Raw beforehand. I mean, I still find the gimmick entertaining, but I was like, there's some over the board shit going on here that just can tone it down a little. Like I don't know what that was, but
I don't know why you would pay her the money, have her come in and just continually just kind of they give her a little bit, but then they job her the fuck out. I don't. I hate to see good workers that get buried and wasted like that. It really sucks when the politics of the booking department or Vince McMahon basically or Triple H. I don't know who's. I'm sure Vince is still kind of because Triple H runs NXT, right? Is that what he's doing now?
More or less, yeah.
More or less. Is that okay? Is because Vince is still just insulated. He's got his yes men, but I mean, I don't really know how much of an influence, he has from the kids or whatever, but you can just see he's out of touch. What is
Yeah.
he? He's damn near 80 years old. I mean, I
Oh,
don't
he
care.
is, isn't he? Shit.
Yeah. I don't care how many steroids he does. I mean, his brain is just, and I mean, I'm not saying the man's not still, a brilliant businessman, because I mean, he runs $1 billion company, and I'm sitting in a 12x14 room right now on a fucking.
So is he? But is he Joe Biden bad, or is he Bernie Sanders bad? Like, I mean, you got to kind of find a scale there.
That's a fucking sliding scale. I don't know if he sniffed anybody's hair, but I mean, he does look, well, let's be honest, it's Vince, of course he has. I mean, he made Trish Stratus strip to her blunt and bark like a dog, but that was the different that was a different term.
The good old days.
Can we all just stop for a moment while we're talking about WrestleMania and say that now would be a good time for a fucking Judy Bagwell on a pole match? I mean, with everything we're doing here, why the fuck not? Why not just bring back the everything on a pole match?
Dude, I haven't seen a match like that in forever. Let's do it.
We're gonna do that in my backyard this summer, Will.
All right.
I can't. I'm not allowed to go anywhere near a ring, Kendo, like ever again. So I was like, I need my retirement match, because I kind of had to walk away and didn't get my retirement match, which really burns me. And I've still got my gear, even though I'm fat, I can still wear it. But
you got it.
I was like, we're just gonna do the retirement match in the backyard here. Fuck it. I've never done a yard match before, so when I have my retirement match in my backyard, it's already fenced in for the dog. So we'll just have it back.
We'll live stream it on the Place to Be Reviews, bud.
Yep. We'll live stream it on the channel. My retirement match. It'll be two fat guys in a pool. We'll get a kiddie pool, fill it with vodka like Leahy.
Listen to the liquor in.
Holy fuck, boys! The fucking pool's full of fucking vodka.
This pool's fucking mint.
Yeah, I mean, Vince is kind of he seems a little out of touch here. This next match, speaking of not giving a shit, I mean, King Corbin and Elias.
Yeah, I didn't even bother with that one.
I can't blame you. I mean, I've watched Raw. I saw when Elias was on Raw. I don't know what the hell show he's on now, but I caught him on Raw a couple times. I was just flipping through. I'm like, I'll give it a shot. I'll watch a little bit of it. And he was on, and after about 30 seconds, I got bored. I'm like, what? I don't listen. You look like Bobby Roode trying to be Honky Tonk Man, trying to be some. I don't know who you. I couldn't do it. And then Baron Corbin is, I mean, you can put a tuxedo on a piece of shit, and it's still a piece of shit in a tuxedo. And Baron Corbin, by any other name, is still a piece of shit in the ring. I'm sorry. He's worthless. Like, I don't know. Like Vince, like, does he? I don't know. Is Vince like Joe Exotic, and this is like, one of his. I mean, seriously, like, what the? Ugh. Is Baron like nuzzling up to Pat Patterson? Is there something I don't know, bud? I'm not sure here. But
he's doing something.
He's doing something right. But so yeah, Elias. They put Elias over on him, which, I mean, no surprise there. I mean, let's see, Becky Lynch and Shayna Baszler. Lynch defeats Baszler. Did you said you watched that one, Kendo?
I did.
What did you think of that one?
Nothing all that special. Surprised a little bit by the result, because the way they had built up Shayna Baszler for the last 2 months with her winning the Rumble, and then the way she ran through everybody at a elimination chamber, I kind of expected her to come and take the title off Becky, and she just didn't.
Yeah, Becky, she's had the belt for the better part of a year?
Yeah, she got it at last year's WrestleMania, so she's had it for a year.
Okay. I mean, and
yeah.
Let's say that's these days that's pretty rare. But when she sells as much merch as she does, I mean, it can't. I
was gonna say that's got a lot to do with it, is how much she moves.
Yeah, she does. She's got it. She's got the. Did anybody else hear that, or was that me? Was that in my headphones? I had some interference there. Sorry about that. No, Baszler had a build. like going into that. You were absolutely right to kind of bring it back. Yeah, she did. She had a build up, but like I said, Becky's selling merch, and is she still with Seth Rollins? Are they still a thing like outside of?
Yeah, they're
Yep.
supposed to be getting married or something like that.
Well, I mean, there you go. He's because he still curries a lot of favor backstage for some reason.
I don't know. I kind of think they're. I put out this theory the other day that I think that they're just trying to keep the belt on Becky long enough to take Nikki Bella's name off the top of the list of longest reigning women's champions in the modern era of the company.
That's a shrewd move, because really, do you want that name at the top of your list for women's champions?
Probably not. And you got to figure John Cena, he's still got a lot of pull and suction there with Vince, so he probably was like, yeah, Vince, I'll come back and do WrestleMania, but I need you to do me one thing. Let's get Nikki's name off the top of the charts there, because fuck her and her new guy.
Right.
Oh, her and Cena, they split?
Yeah, they've been split up for a while now.
Okay. See, I'm so far out of touch on a lot of this stuff, but
damn,
I didn't know. I honestly did not know that.
Yeah, I don't watch a whole lot of WWE anymore, but I do listen to various podcasts throughout the week that kind of recap everything. So that's how I keep up on all my information. And yeah, apparently her and John broke up well over a year ago, and then she started dating some new dude, and now they're getting married, and she's knocked up or some shit or another, and Bree's knocked up too, so they're gonna have Bella twins at the same time. You know they planned that shit. You know they did.
Yeah.
Isn't the other one with Daniel Bryan?
Yeah, Bree's married to Brian.
Yep, Bryan Danielson. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
His shoot
well,
name.
I mean,
that's right. Yeah,
that's a shoot name.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, so that's
Brian did.
That's the American Dragon.
That's when I met him.
Yep. That's I man. Yes, she gets. Cena didn't want kids. He didn't want her to have any kids.
No, yeah, that was his thing. Is he just didn't want to have children, and she apparently does, and wants to ruin her body.
Yeah, that's Ernest P. Cena had it right, man. Ernest P.
They'll get in the way of his workout routine, you know.
Oh, you're telling me, dude? That fucking ruined me.
That's horrible.
Body brought to you by parenting.
Absolutely.
Oh shit. So Sami Zayn went over Daniel Bryan for the Intercontinental Championship.
Well, at least they're giving Sami Zayn some TV time. That's good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have no issue with that, because I always liked Sami Zayn. I thought he was
me too.
When he got brought up.
Yeah, this version of heel Sami Zayn isn't very good. It's not as good as the heel version of Sami Zayn when him and Kevin Owens were doing their thing together, and he was just being an obnoxious douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's just being a douchebag.
Oh, really?
And it's not. It does not have any of the charm.
So he's
I was gonna say, because.
Oh, go ahead, Will.
No, sorry, no. I just remember when he was a babyface, and he just had so much. He had the fire, the charisma behind it. Very animated. So
yeah, he's a
that kind of won me over.
Yeah, he's a far better babyface than he is a heel.
There's just some. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, you're good. No, I'm just saying, I've only watched him as heel when he was doing the managing thing, or so I haven't actually watched too many matches of him working as heel, so I can't judge it too much.
There's just some guys who they can't do, they're either one or the other. If they try to switch, it doesn't work,
You're right. Yep.
There is, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a slight towards that worker, because I mean, if you're good at something, then by all means, man, ride that shit till the wheels fall off. You switch somebody from one to the other, it could kill their entire fucking career. If and that's on your booking though. That's on the booker. You got to know when to pull the trigger on that stuff, because like I said, at the wrong time, it just kills the gimmick. It's that is a momentum. That is a fucking candle snuffer. Let's see, SmackDown Tag Team Championship: John Morrison versus Kofi Kingston versus Jimmy Uso. Tag Team Championship, and it was a triple threat.
Yeah, so originally it was supposed to be it was supposed to be the Usos versus the New Day versus Miz and Morrison for the tag team titles, but the Miz had to pull out because he was sick. And so when he pulled out because he was sick, then they turned it into a triple threat for the tag titles ladder match, but there was just the one Uso, the one member of the New Day, and Morrison.
Okay. Man,
was that anticlimactic?
Okay. A little bit. I mean, it's a ladder match. Those three guys did a decent job with it, but at the same time, it's kind of like you have a triple threat match for, a singles triple threat match for the tag team title. So it's kind of like, this doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
No. Filler match.
Yep.
Pretty much. Instead of just pulling it off the card because they couldn't make it, what it was, they just said, we're going to go ahead and do it anyway.
That's the thing. I remember watching WrestleMania last year, and this really got me, is because, I made the joke on my podcast last year at this time. I was like, I sang that 9,986,000 minutes. I was like, that's how long WrestleMania was. I mean, Jesus, dude, it was bad. What's up, Steve? Franchise History TV. Hello. He's a guest. He's a guest on our Monday night show. So what's up, man? Good to see you.
Nice.
In the chat. But yeah, so do they really need WrestleMania to be, like 97 matches long? No. I mean, you want it to showcase I understand what he's trying to do, and I'm not just saying this year. This could go for every year. I mean, if you want WrestleMania to be, I would say a good solid 3-hour show. You don't need it to be 8 hours. I mean, do your dark, have a couple dark matches.
Jesus, no.
Run it like a normal guy. You do your fan stuff by all means. You should do that. Your interactive experience for the WWE fans and all that, like they do every year. Do that, but keep the card, do it tight. Do 8 to 9 matches tops. That's it. Okay, so you want to do a couple pre-show matches, make the card 8 solid matches, do 2 pre-show dark matches, do a tag match, a triple threat gimmick, or a singles match. Something gimmick, you get the crowd hot going on.
Yeah,
They're already gonna be hot because it's WrestleMania. So boom, do your and then come out and do an 8-match card for WrestleMania. I mean, you don't need 27 matches. You don't need it.
No, and being even on a indie show, man. If an indie show goes over 2 hours, people are like, okay, when the fuck is this ending? Yeah, I mean, too much of a good thing is going to ruin it. I mean, you can only do so many lines of coke before it's going to kill you, right? I mean, it's bad example, but I mean, you get it.
Hey, I don't know if I would necessarily call current WWE programming a good thing.
No.
Well, I mean, just entertainment of wrestling in general, because I mean, obviously, I feel like with indie shows, you captivate crowds a little more. I mean, of course, WWE, they're superstars, so I mean, of course, they're going to get crowds. But when you're doing an indie show, it's just, especially if you have a regular fan base, like
we did
regular people. Yep, IWE, even UWA and Saginaw.
Yep.
It was a lot of the same people coming in, so they got to know the wrestlers, the gimmicks, the angles, and but even them, if you go over 2 hours, they're kind of sitting there like, all right, wrap this up. Let's get this. So you can only give them so much before someone's going to get bored, and we don't want them to get bored. Obviously, Pete, I don't know. I'm sure you've been in a match where it's like, okay, wow, guys, it's time to take this shit home. Like
every time we did a fucking 8-man tag match for the goddamn well, it didn't help. I was drunk as shit, but like, man, I'm out there Pete, you know, you shut the fuck up. I don't come into the match until there's about 12 minutes fucking gone. We're working 20. I come in at the 12-minute mark. I know my shit. I'm like, I ain't worried about the 12 minutes for that. I'm talking to the crowd, stand there on the apron and flip people off. You know,
pretty much.
I got my shit now. What I got to do? I got to come in, bump, sell, bump, up, do my corner spot, cheap shot, take it fucking home. Boom, we're done. that was it right there. That was a fucking nap. They wonder why I drank before I fucking wrestled. I could.
The wrestling makes you do some bad things, make some bad decisions sometimes.
The wrestling business is definitely a path to the fucking dark side. I can.
I
can even on even the level we were on. It's dirty. It's dirty.
No, it is. I mean, you know, we're not the Fed stars or nothing, but no, man. I mean, you get to see some of the dirty underbellies of it all, for real.
Oh yeah, and on the indie level too, it's over nothing. You know, it's so funny.
Oh yeah,
I always tried to stay out of that shit, and somehow I always fucking got dragged into it. But
it's kind of I managed to stay out of it for the most part.
I know you were always.
I don't know how.
I mean, let's be honest, dude. My personality is kind of a lightning rod around shit like that. It is.
You're a conductor, that's for sure.
It just happened. You know, I'm gonna start.
But you know what?
In royalty, my entryway.
You make it entertaining. I mean, from the locker room to calling shit in the ring, we're like, what the fuck's going on out here? You make it entertaining even for the workers, so that's good.
Oh yeah, we had the fucking crowd fill up the ring with garbage that one night when we turned.
That was awesome.
We did a whole NWO angle. We'd like our stable was like basically an NWO tribute, and I'm like, this is how I got a lot of probably more creative control than anybody because I helped the promoters line up the building and shit like that. So I was coming in kind of like as one of the oldest guys in the roster too. I was like 36 when I came back to them, and they just was like, okay, what do you want to do? And I mean, I had some restrictor plates, but it wasn't too bad. And I mean, basically we got to just me and my partner were like the outsiders. I mean, it was like, but we were kind of living the gimmick. It was fun. it was a fun. Tell you, man. I mean, we did the whole we pulled up. I had a brand new fucking Yukon. We pulled up to the building in my Yukon. There was 4 of us. We jumped out with bats, beat the shit out of these guys outside the arena. We had one of the guys with the cameraman with us because we had a bunch of roll cams. The fucking footage got corrupted though when they were upload. Oh, it sucked. But it was such. And then we drug. It was Will's old partner. We drug him in the building. We're just beating on him. He looked like what's oh shit. What's it? Cody? Looks like
Cisco from the Flash. Exactly like Cisco.
From the Flash. I mean, it was. Oh god, that was fucking fun. I mean, we did all the just dumb shit. It was fun though, man.
I remember that match because I turned to Cody and I'm like, dude, did we time travel, go back to WCW? Because that's what it feels like.
It was funny because Mark was Apocalypse and Cody gets up and Mark's getting back. He's getting back in the truck and Cody goes to get up. Mark's like, oh hell no! Goes up and gorilla presses him off the wall, fucking nasty here on that trailer. That was, I mean, Mark lawn darted him. That was funny. I was like, oh shit! But Cody only weighed $150 and Mark was 3 and some change. He was a big dude. Oh hell! So who else do we have for that trip on down memory lane? Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. And Owens went over.
Correct.
I imagine that match was good.
It was okay.
Just
Kevin
okay,
Owens, Seth Rollins, man. Yeah, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins match. You'd expect more out of it, but I mean, it wasn't anything too special, which to me is disappointing because Kevin Owens has been one of my favorite characters on the roster ever since he got his call up. I loved him in NXT. And I've enjoyed his main roster work. I believe he's been mishandled quite a bit.
I can agree with that. Yeah. Yep.
Owens is talented, man. He's
yeah, he is.
He's more talented, and the thing is, and a lot of the reason they hold him back is because his physique, and that's it.
And it's stupid.
It's fucking ridiculous. It is. It's.
I mean, didn't they book him to be like a modern day indie guy? Wasn't that the point, or am I missing something?
Do you remember his gear? I mean, does he still wear the same kind of gear he did when he started? Like he still rocks a t-shirt, doesn't he?
He still rocks
pretty damn close, yeah.
Shorts.
Yeah. Yep.
In the like the pleather shorts, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's basically like an indie gimmick. I mean, it really is.
It is.
But the dude is like I will say this, he is a world-class fucking worker in the ring. He can go. I don't care what people like, they say, because people like have always knocked his physique, and he's one of those guys where it does not matter at all. It's like not completely like Mick Foley, but I'm going to use Mick Foley as a parallel because he was.
Oh yeah, yep.
Mick Foley was just like a sack of potatoes for a body. But
see, here's the thing. Like this is. Sorry about that. No, but this is how it's evolved. Like you've seen it evolved. You had Mick Foley back in the day, and that was back when backyard wrestling was a thing, right? That was like huge.
Yes.
It was on MTV. They were selling DVDs, so they marketed Mick Foley as this, coming up from the yard, right?
Yep.
Same thing they did with Kevin Owens, but coming up from your local wrestling promotion instead. Your independent, your indies. Same thing as what you were just saying though. Like, it's just the evolution of both gimmicks, but that was like a perfect parallel there.
That's, I mean, I'd like to see him, be used a little more effectively. That just,
yeah,
it's not fair to a guy like that who you're on the road. What is it? 280 some days a year,
Yep.
and you're still, you bust your ass, you kill yourself for a company. And just because you're not, 6'5" with 22-inch arms, you're being held back, even though you can outwork pretty much any of the big guys. That's bullshit. It is.
And I get like the mystique behind it. Obviously, going back to the 80s, where like if you're a big time wrestler in the ring, you had to be a big time wrestler outside the ring. You had to be a big jet guy, muscle bound man. It was kind of the thing. But in real life, I mean, you can say you're at the bar, you're a 6'4" guy, you're at the bar, you're getting some whiskey in you. You start talking shit to a guy who's like 5'8", but then that guy who's 5'8" just whips your ass all over that bar. I mean, it can happen, right? It's legit. I mean, these, I was always told growing up, watch out for the little quiet guys, not the big buff loudmouths. Those guys ain't really shit. So to think about psychology in everyday life, that makes more sense,
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. That's a good breakdown right there. It is, because you really do. He doesn't, man. That's the thing, is like this guy, like I said, I've watched him work, and not recently, but in the past. And like, I know he's still that, he's not that old of a guy. His in-ring work is still tight. So, he those guys, is like, he deserves that push.
No, I completely agree. Yep. It's obviously you're not going to see him get in the ring with like, say, Kane or Undertaker and just like throw him around like a rag doll. That would not make sense.
Yep.
But him being able to defeat, to be put over on a guy that size or that stature would completely make sense, and they can make it make sense. If it's a big guy that can work, then they can make it work. You know what I mean? If you put him in there, like you said, somebody, one of those top tier big guys like that, they can sell, and you book the match right. That's all you got to do, is tell the story. Yeah,
tell the story right.
And if those guys
buy it,
right, exactly. And if those guys know how to use psychology, which that they can make it make sense. I mean, even on the indies, man, I'm a small, me, man. I'm 6'3", but I'm pretty skinny. I'm not a big jacked guy, but using psychology, you can make it make sense for you to be put over on the larger guys. I mean, it's with experience, it's not hard to do.
I sold the shit out of fucking moves for them little midgets we were fucking working. The Deans.
The Deans, and those guys, they're over, they're great, and yeah, exactly what you're just saying right there. You're like 3 times the size.
Fuck yeah! When I was working, I weighed like 240. Them fuckers were like $115, and I was bumping all for them.
And it makes sense when they're using their bodies as weapons basically against a guy your size, where you would use your muscle as a weapon. Makes sense.
Oh yeah, they were throwing fucking drop kicks and fucking sentons and shit like that, and fuck yeah, I'll sell for you, little fella. Shit, I got yelled at backstage for bumping too much for him.
Oh, did you? By who?
Well, James started giving me shit, and then John told me I shouldn't have bumped that many times for him. And John's like the promoter. He's a super good guy, but yeah, he did. He was like, you bumped, because I think I took like I usually would take like maybe 4 to 5 bumps in a match. Dude, I think I tripled that at least. I mean, I was just, oh hell yeah, I was having fun. I like I said, I was losing. Came out there, so
shit. Yeah. Well, you don't want to sell yourself short either.
No, I didn't. Yeah, that was the night I went over. I finally got to use the fucking. Well, I used it before with the fucking Razor's Edge, because that was my.
Flash. Yep. Yeah, and it's pretty easy to do on the Deans.
Oh yeah. Hey, what's up, Salvador? How you doing, brother? Thanks for stopping in, my man. You didn't take your phone charger to work? That's it. We're cutting your fucking MREs, buddy. We're cutting your MREs down. Let's see. Universal Championship match: Goldberg and Braun Strowman. Well, at least they put Strowman over. Did you watch this one, Kendo?
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, it was like only a 2.5 minute match. There's not a whole lot to watch of it. And it's just spamming finishers. I think.
How many jackhammers?
There was 0 jackhammers, because as he proved at Sweet Saudi Money Mania, he can't fucking pick anybody up to jackhammer him. But he so Goldberg, I think he hit a couple of spears to no avail, and then Strowman hit him with like 4 power slams to win.
Jesus.
And it was like a 2-minute match.
Jesus. Boy, that was like what Goldberg worked in his prime.
Yeah, I mean, Goldberg was never used to a match length of anything longer than, just 2 minutes, but it's all they needed for him to drop the belt, which, I mean, on the silver lining, at least it's not Roman Reigns.
Yeah. And I gotta give Kendo. We gotta talk about this for a minute, man, because we're in a goddamn wrestling group on Facebook called Roman Reigns Group. And,
you're in that group too?
Yeah, man. I've been commenting. I see you in there fucking with them guys in there. So like, I'll go through and I'll drop a little comment in there too. It's like, oh, nice.
Yeah, I do a lot of yeoman's work in that group, as well as the WWE Monday Night Raw group, which, if I think of it, I'll try to add you into that one later. I am pretty much universally hated throughout the country of India and most of Africa.
Most of it.
The deep, darkest parts of the Congo, the wrestling fans hate Kendo Slice.
Yeah, they hate the fact that I tell them the truth about Roman. I had one guy the other day. This was like 2 weeks ago, maybe 10 days ago. So Roman pulled out of WrestleMania a while back, like 2 weeks ago, because he didn't want to get the coronas.
Yep.
And
the coronas?
So he pulled out because he doesn't want to get the Wu flu, and he's immunocompromised.
Yep.
So he's immunocompromised, and for anybody that doesn't know, Roman Reigns suffered and has dealt with and has overcome, as it was described in that group one day, as the ligma. One of the people whose English is not so great. They said that Roman has defeated ligma, and he can defeat anybody in the ring. Heart or like, if you agree. And so, of course, I had to get in there and just, start fucking with them about, I agree, the ligma sucks. And just, perpetuating that. I just had to perpetuate that. But yeah, so he's immunocompromised. So with everything going on, they're like, if you're immunocompromised, you probably shouldn't go outside your house. And
for sure. Yeah.
And he was just like, the Miz is sick. I'm not going outside my house. And so that's how he pulled out. So some guy was in there. He's like, Roman Reigns will win the title. I'm like, dude, he's not on the card. And then that's fake. That's fake news. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, dude, it's reported on ESPN. And I'm linking him the stories to ESPN, to WWE. He's like, WWE is a wrestling company, so they're gonna put stuff out like that. It's scripted. I'm like, it's not scripted. The man is not performing. I was like, ESPN's even got it on there. He's like, ESPN is not a real news sports for wrestling or something, in very terrible English. And so I'm trying to explain it to this chud that Roman is not going to be on the WrestleMania card, and giving him every outlet. And I'm like, dude, can you just get your head out of your fucking ass and read some of this stuff and understand? And somebody else jumped in. They're like, dude, he's right. Roman's not going to be on there because he's, got leukemia and he doesn't want to be out and get COVID-19. And the guy's like, oh, that's bullshit. It's fake news, blah, 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 blah. You guys are just saying shit because you hate Roman. No, that has nothing to do with the fact that I dislike the character Roman Reigns. It has everything to do with the fact that Joseph Anawahi, the man that plays Roman Reigns, will not be at fucking Performance Center Mania. And he blocked me. So I really wished he hadn't, so that way I could just, pull it up, Sunday or Monday and be like, hey, you still don't believe he's gonna. Although I don't think many people there have access to it, because there's still posts today where it's like, someone tell me who won between Roman and Goldberg, please. And it's like, dude, that fucking match didn't even happen. It was announced it wasn't happening 2 weeks ago. But there's a lot of people in that group that think that wrestling is 100% legitimate sporting competition.
Oh my God, those are the perfect fans to work in front of.
Yeah, dude, if you guys could revive your careers and be the best wrestlers and the biggest stars of all time, if you would just go to the fucking Congo in Zaire and just perform, because they fucking
that's what we're doing then.
100% shoot.
All right.
Yeah.
We're doing
it,
Pete.
They're like, they'll say things. They'll say things to you, and you're like, dude, it's a work. It's 100% scripted. Like, the matches are predetermined ahead of time. And they're like, okay, well, I agree that, the scripts are real, but the fights are real. Or the scripts happen, but the fights are real. I'm like, no, that's not at all how it works. It's like, the two guys in the ring are working together to make that happen. Go try to pick somebody up that's as big as you, or if not bigger, and body slam them without them helping you. It ain't gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
No, and you go ahead and give somebody a pile driver and see if you don't fucking break their neck if you do it wrong. Okay.
Right.
All right, Chief.
But it's glorious because these people are that fucking dumb. I guess they're not dumb. They're just marks.
Oh yeah, they're fucking. Those are the dude. You can sell them fucking the tape off your wrist after a fucking match. Are you kidding me? Them people are fucking. I'd be cutting that shit off. Selling, be like $29.95 fucker for the left and $39.95 for the right, because that's my strong side.
God, why didn't I think of that? Damn.
All right, your invite to that WWE Monday Night Raw group has been sent, Pete. Have fun with that. You can. Whenever I have spare time, which lately has not been very often because I've been mega essential lately and pulling 10 and 12 hour days.
Essential!
15 to the last 16. So
yeah.
Whenever I do have a spare moment, I usually sit down and turn on my old trolling motor and go puttering through there. I've got some really great graphics of me that I've made of Roman Reigns cutting promos where I put voice bubbles in there where he says that India is the worst, Pakistan is the best. I hate Africa and India. Some really great stuff. Like I think I might legit cause World War III at some point.
Whoa.
You are going to have everybody selling fucking extended warranties for their cars calling you at the same time.
Yeah. I've been called a Mater Chad. I don't know how many times, which apparently is Hindi for motherfucker. So I'm proud of myself for that one. I'm very, very proud of myself for that one. So
cussed out.
Like I said, I'm just doing the Lord's work. Just, pissing off the Roman marks. Although they love the Shield too, because you'll see posts where it's like a picture of the Shield and they're like, who loves the Shield? Bring them back. It's like, dude, Ambrose is John Moxley. He works for a rival company. Yeah. And after the interviews he's given, I highly doubt there's an invitation to Vince McMahon anything coming to him anytime soon.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
It's like, dude, he took less money to leave that company.
Well, I mean, and that's I had the pleasure of meeting Mick Foley back in 2008 at a show in Michigan. in indie show he was working. It was for Chainsaw. Will, he was up for Mikey Zero up there.
Oh,
in Trout Town.
nice.
And
Trout,
yeah,
nice.
Trout Town, baby. So he's sitting there. It was my sister's birthday, so we got our pictures taken with him, and I asked him. I said, "Hey," I'm like, and he found out my sister's name was Allie. So he literally sat there and he's like, "Hey, that was Danielson's girlfriend's name in Karate Kid," and he talked to her about fucking Karate Kid for like, there's like literally 100 people in line, and he's talking to my sister about Karate Kid for like 15 minutes. I'm like, somebody hit Mick in the back of the head. I think the record skipped, and so I asked him, I was like, "Hey, real quick," I'm like, "What was it like working for TNA compared to WWE?" He goes, "TNA is great because I get to do what I want." You know, he goes, basically, you know, I get to, you know, book my own stuff within reason. He goes, you know, I have to work with you know, with the story they're going, the angles they're going with. But he goes, you know, I get to do my own thing. He goes, you know, WWE is awesome because you get to go everywhere in the world. You get to see everything. You get to meet, you know, people you'd never meet. But the downside is you work for Vince McMahon. He goes, and he's insane. And I was just kind of laughing. I'm like, yeah, because he was TNA champion at the time. World champion. So yeah, I think that was like 08, but I had just gotten into the business. But yeah, it was he was really fucking cool. Just one of those guys, you know, because a lot of them are like, you know, you were talking about Seth Rollins. I met him that same night because he was there with what's that little shit's name? Jimmy Jacobs. He's with Jimmy Jacobs. They were doing Age of the Fall in Ring of Honor. And Seth Rollins at the time was known as Tyler Black, and we were the same fucking size.
Yeah. Actually, I remember I met Tyler. I met him when he was Tyler Black at Ring of Honor. I think that was actually my first ever indie gig.
Okay.
I was still in training, and went to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was when Jimmy Jacobs, because they were doing the thing too at Ring of Honor, what you're talking about. Yep. And we did the me and a couple of the students with Truth at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We did the angle where we dressed in black with the bandanas, and we like bum rushed the ring, and like just like, well, the revolution's coming, some, you know, gimmick bullshit like that. And Tyler Black was one of the guys that like we were basically choreographed with backstage. He's like, yeah, hey guys, this is what we're doing, but like, damn. And then like, you know, seeing him on, you know, show up on the Fed, I was like, oh cool, like I know that guy.
Yep.
Like
that's how
but saying about you, because
the vodka or the tequila.
Oh Jesus
sorry.
Christ, dude, that's bad. She spilled tequila.
They hurt you. She's like, yeah, she did. She
The banana fell on the tequila.
You're so fired right now. That's alcohol abuse.
You're fired.
You're fired.
Can I keep it fresh or something?
I don't know. What would you guys do in this situation to keep the remaining tequila fresh?
I just bought it. It's a brand new bottle.
Drink it.
Yeah, I was gonna say just
Drink it.
make sure there's
I guess you better
make sure
start
there's
pouring
no
shots.
glass pieces there, and get a straw.
Fuck
And
it, it's on now.
just lick your hand, dip it in some salt, just start licking that, just with the straw.
There's it.
You got any lemon slices over there, bud?
Yeah.
Oh, we got lemon juice, so just as good.
There you go.
There you go. You're fucking set then. Somebody's getting laid.
We're
tonight.
good.
Get some
laid
salt,
tonight.
hit the straw, bite into the lemon, you're good.
Yep.
Babe, they said someone's getting laid tonight. Oh, that's awesome. Sorry you guys had to hear that, but apparently.
What am I supposed to do with that?
Sorry that your tequila got busted.
I know, man. I need to pour out a little liquor for your tequila. I'm not drinking tonight.
I know. You know, I mean, to be honest, dude, I mean, this is probably non-essential, but we stocked up on a lot of booze.
Oh
No,
yeah.
that's very
this
essential.
quarantine.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm missing though is weed, bro.
Oh shit.
I keep telling people that once they close the liquor stores, that's when you'll see the actual public uprising.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
That is not going to be cute if that happens. Yeah, I have no problem getting the gimmick. Will that I get that delivered in my mailbox.
Hell yeah, but well, I mean,
I just call up my my friend, and I say, hey, there's a Ziploc baggie in the mailbox. Come on over.
I know people, you know, and
You don't have to. You
it's
don't
just
have
a
to
matter
touch
of
it.
like
You don't have to touch it, and I can Clorox wipe everything that it comes in.
I gotta wait for this unemployment shit to kick in before I start buying that though.
You know, this whole quarantine stay home thing, this hasn't really affected me because I only leave the house to take my kid to and from school, so then go shopping. That's about it.
Yeah,
So,
I was gonna say, it hasn't affected
Take a
me
water
because
bottle and cut it in half.
I work for a company that is essential apparently, and it's business as usual. If anything,
Right.
business has been up.
You know, that's
What
good.
do you do?
That's good then.
I don't want to say it on there,
Oh, no problem. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to.
just because it's open to the public, and we do have a lot of fans from World Class Bullshitters that live in the St. Louis area where I live, and I'd rather them not just show up to bother me while I'm working.
Fair enough, man.
No, I feel you. I feel
Yep.
you.
Yep, absolutely, man. Yeah, that's
See,
know,
my job was essential up until Thursday because I was contracted under Fago.
Oh, nice.
So we did I'm just a painter, so you know, we pretty much paint everything under the sun. So when all this shit hit the fan, we were contracted under this huge job, and we just kind of had to wrap it up before. But like now, you know, we can't go in people's homes, so I'm laid off.
Somebody I work with is a massive hoogalow, and she's desperate for as much Fago as she can get her hands on. And in Missouri, there isn't very many options for Fago. So I'm like, I have a lot of. I told her, I have a lot of Michigan connections. I lived there for a couple of years during college. I've got Dion from Michigan that I see a few times a year.
Yeah.
My buddy Lunchbox from St. Louis, he moved up to Michigan for a girl. And so it's like, I know a lot of people. So I was like, I have a hookup. And so she literally wrote down a list of all the flavors of Fago she wants and sent it to me.
What does she like?
You get the? I don't know. I don't have. I haven't looked at that in a long time. I'm not really worried about it. I'll get to it eventually. But she's just like, yeah, can you get me all these? I'm like, I'll try. I mean, I plan on going to Michigan at least for a week this summer because I haven't been there for almost 9 years at this point. Or I think I was there a few years ago because I was driving through. I went to Niagara Falls, so I drove through Michigan, but I haven't actually spent any time in the great, hand glove state of Michigan for about 8 or 9 years. Like I said, I lived there for 2 years. At the time I hated it, but then looking back on it, the times I've gone back, I'm like, I really like this state.
It's not.
That's a lot to offer.
It's not bad, except you can get all 4 seasons in one day.
Right.
Absolutely.
Dude, it's the same thing here. Like today it was almost 90 degrees outside. Yesterday it was in the 50s and raining, and the day before that it started 75 and overnight dropped to 35.
Oof. Yeah.
Fucking
damn.
I got all my leaves done. I got all my leaves done today, in the back. I was gonna start the front yard, and then it started raining, so I came in, I'm working in the house. I started working on this video, and I'm like, I look outside, and we have like freaking quarter size hail, and I'm just like,
yeah, bro. I think I'm about to get hit with that shit here soon.
Yeah, it blew through here like a freaking wrecking ball. But no, I'm about probably an hour. I think about an hour and a half away from where Dion is, Kendo.
Okay.
I'm north. I'm up north there.
We're at up north, like St. Louis, Fenton, or not Fenton, Midland. Is it Midland?
I'm about 60. I'm about an hour north of Midland.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Midland, I think, is the highest I ever went up in Michigan because my roommate, Canadian Jamie, in college, we went to Grand Valley together. He was from Midland, so I spent one night in Midland in which I drank a 6-pack of Amber Bock, half a bottle of Jose Cuervo. Ended up in a house party, or we were at a house party. Ended up in a bathroom with some chick, and then the next thing you know, I woke up underneath Canadian Jamie's pool table.
Sounds pretty damn good, bud.
That was a good night.
Yeah, it was a very interesting evening. He's like, "What happened in the bathroom with that girl?" I was like, "I really couldn't tell you. I don't remember. I just remember walking in there to pee, and she was sitting on the sink staring at herself in the mirror. I closed the door, and I'm pretty sure I went pee, and I was like, after that, I couldn't. I really don't know. Next thing I woke up underneath your pool table."
Damn good night.
I'm telling you, I used to go. You said you went to it was Grand Valley.
Yeah.
I was just north. I used to live over in Big Rapids where Ferris State is.
Oh, okay.
I was just like 45 minutes north of Grand Rapids. I used to go down there to go to concerts and shit all the time though. That's been some good
The
shows.
intersection.
See,
Yeah.
yeah, that's nice.
I was gonna say, I moved up there in 2002.
Okay.
August of 2002. I lived in Highland.
Okay.
Right.
If you remember about 10, 11, 12 years ago when they were digging up that horse farm because they were sure Hoffa was buried there?
Yes.
I literally lived like half a mile down the road from that intersection.
Nice.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah. So I lived there for about a year, and then I moved to Grand Rapids, and I lived at the downtown campus there for Grand Valley State.
All right. Yeah.
A lot of Griffins games.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I've been to a couple.
Hell yeah.
I got a Griffin shirt, man. But yeah, so you know where DeVos is because my kid was in DeVos for a week after he was born. But yeah, so yeah, I spent a lot of time down there, going to DeVos and different doctor's appointments and stuff down there too. But yeah, man, it's a nice town. It really is. It's like clean Detroit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Grand Rapids is great. It was. I loved Grand Rapids. I'm glad I lived on the downtown campus because if I had lived in, I think it's, what is it, Allendale, where the main campus is at? It's a dry county or a dry town. Whereas Grand Rapids was very wet, and we took very much advantage of said wetness of that said area.
Moist.
Yeah, I had my classes stacked. I only went to class on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I would say I probably was drunk the other 5 nights of the week.
That's what it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if I didn't have to work at the goddamn Meyer gas station in Jenison, I would have had a great time.
Oh shit!
I just went to a concert in Grand Rapids back in February.
At the intersection.
I went. No. We were at the intersection actually. It's a pretty sweet little venue there. Now I'm sitting here thinking, I mean, how many of them motherfuckers had COVID while I was there? Like, damn.
Probably a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good thing I drank a lot of liquor that night because probably saved me.
The last couple of concerts I went to over there, I went to see, it was Pop Evil, and that was the first time because they're from around the Grand.
They are, and I've seen those guys at least 4 times.
I saw them.
No joke.
They were there with Rob Zombie and Disturbed. And then
nice.
And then the next week I turned around because my wife got tickets. We went and saw Garth Brooks there, which I'm not a country fan, but I do like Garth Brooks.
No, I am. I mean, shit.
Chris Gaines did not make an appearance though. I was kind of disappointed. I wanted to see Chris.
Damn.
But then I saw Pop Evil again at Riff. Well, I saw you at Riff Fest.
Yeah, that's where we hung out.
Yeah, because Klaus was there too. Jesus Christ, dude. So that was like Fozzy. Pop Evil, Greta Van Fleet,
Hailstorm,
it was Zombie was in Five Finger Death. Yep, Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh yeah, he was at that concert where
that was freaking and no, that was a great concert until about 8 o'clock because we got there at noon. And about 8 o'clock, it was at you know where Pine Knob is, right?
Drunker and shit by that point.
I think so.
It's DTE Energy Theater now, the outdoor venue over by Clarkson, north of Detroit.
Yeah.
Okay, so it started raining this is the end of September in Michigan, and we're at an outdoor concert. It started fucking pouring. And the concert it was from like noon until like midnight. And those concerts are supposed to be shut down at midnight there because of they have noise ordinances because it's a residential area. And Rob Zombie was like, nope, fuck that. I'm still playing. He played until I think it was like 1 o'clock. I mean, he was going like deep into the catalog, playing like the music off the soundtrack for House of a Thousand Corpses and shit. Like
no fucks given by that guy.
No, it was a fun show though, man. But yeah, that's I don't know how we got talking about concerts, but oh well.
You know, well, too bad we won't be going to any this summer, unfortunately.
You know, I had tickets for one in May. E40, Too Short, AMG, Dubs.
Oh damn.
Mac 10. Fuck, who else was the Dog Pound? It was down at the Fox Theater in Detroit. And even if that shit is not canceled, I ain't going.
Damn.
It's gonna take a lot to get me around a big crowd of people now, and that's how I can kind of tie this back into wrestling, because even if I did ever get a green light to go back into the business, it would be very difficult for me to do that now, because like I said, I'm kind of a germaphobe as it is.
Me too.
And with this stuff going on now, I mean, think about your fans, okay? Your fans, your wrestlers, you get a lot of people packed in, even a big venue, and that is just because it's all assholes and elbows up there. I mean, we've all been to Fed shows. I mean, like I said, Kendo's, but we've all been to a Mania. It's you're packed in there. So I mean, this is just breeding ground.
You're right, but my biggest fear has always been, even before COVID, the motherfuckers out there who have hepatitis, bro, and don't disclose that shit.
Oh God,
that's my problem.
I got Rude Boy blood all over me. I almost fucking threw up in the ring. Kendo, you know who Rude Boy is, right?
I don't believe so.
Okay, are you mentioned the Oogalos? Are you familiar with the clowns at all?
I know Violent J and Shaggy Dog.
Okay, so ICP, they got their boys in Rude Boy. They always talk about Rude Boy in their songs. Now, Rude Boy is Rudy Hill, who is a wrestler. He wrestles in JCW for them. I don't know if he does anymore because he's old and he's not really that good of a worker to be.
He just promotes now.
Yeah, he just promotes. I mean, he's more of a promoter, but I mean, he worked. It was all hardcore shit. I mean, he was like kind of like the Sandman. You weren't going to get any arm bars out of him.
Fuck no. It's fucking thumbtacks and Kendo sticks, bud.
Yep. So Rudy is now, we're working in this building where you're not supposed to bleed. It was we just got booted out of the fucking bingo hall in Saginaw, and we were over at the Buena Vista Community Center, which that neighborhood, bud, we would be outside in the parking lot afterwards burning down. And I mean, it's like you're looking over your shoulder because it ain't safe to be out there if the street lights are on. It's that bad of a fucking neighborhood. The building was gorgeous. The building is a brand new, beautiful community center. So the guys were like, just don't bleed in here, right? So Rudy, and the kid's dead now. What was his name? Joey Drama. Remember him, Will? Joey Drama? He died like 2 years ago. He was only like fucking 30.
Did he have was that Carson? Was his other gimmick? Or JJ Carson?
JJ Carson, yep.
Damn. Yep.
He's working Rude Boy for now. This is on a Universal Wrestling Alliance show. Rudy comes out because Rudy was promoting, because the actual promoter moved to Texas and left the promotion to two of his buddies, which was Big Chuck.
Oh yeah.
Rudy. And I got there. I was just ring announcing. I get there and they're like, "Hey, guess what? We're not calling it UWA anymore. It's now Apex Pro Wrestling." I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, does Manny know? They're like, no, don't say nothing. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, as long as
in the spot,
as long as I get my $50 at the end of the night, I don't fucking care. They're paying me $50 to come in and ring announce, dude. I was gonna make more than a lot of the workers. I'm like, fuck it, dude. So I come out and I'm like the commissioner and ring announcer, and Joey Drama and fucking Rudy bleed all over. I mean, there's like a trail of blood all over the floor because they of course went outside the ring. And like, they're working for the Juggalo Championship title that night on the Apex show. And I'm
makes sense now.
And then Tara Khan, what's his name? Cassidy Kane, the Joe Credit, the big dude. Used to do the Kamala gimmick. He comes out.
Oh, yep.
And him and Rudy are going at it, and I'm separating them two, and I can't see the blood on Joe, so I'm just pushing them two back, and there's blood all over my hands. I have to do a promo. I literally almost threw up, ran backstage, washed my hands, got paper towel, grabbed the microphone, and came out and did the promo.
Nice.
Yeah, because dude, like you said, Rudy looks like you'd get hepatitis if you stood too close to him. Not even.
Oh Jesus!
I mean, all the hardcore matches he's been in, dude. That's like, nah, fam.
I'm just saying, there's no regulations there. I'm just germaphobe, like you said, the germaphobe thing. I mean, it's weird to be a germaphobe and a pro wrestler. You're grabbing random guys' balls, you're getting their sweat in your mouth. I mean, it's fucking horrible.
Dude, think about going like face down on that mat. Like as many times, you take a bump or whatever.
Oh, like Jesus Christ. I have.
Dude, I know, me too. And it's fucking it like I'd go backstage and it's a good thing I'm bald because it's like I just rub freaking hand sanitizer all over my head.
Oh, dude, yeah. You take like a horse bath in the bathroom
Yep.
after every match.
Yep. I'd have like a fucking like I said, I always had baby wipes because a kid. So I'd bring like Ziploc bags full of baby wipes and shit. You know what I mean? Because I'd always have a hotel room though. So I'd clean up because we go to the bar after the show and I just change my clothes,
Yep.
do the whore's bath and the fucking thing, then go out to the bar for a few, then go back to the hotel room and take a shower and sit there and
Shit, I did.
get stoned.
That's
and
what I did.
Watch video or watch fucking YouTube videos and shit in the room by myself. But yeah, that fucking it's that's what scares me about this whole COVID thing is like think about like contact sports, man. Yeah, like we were talking about even like the NFL, you know. I mean, you've got what 52 guys, 55 guys on an active roster, plus the coaching staff and the equipment staff and everybody that travels with the team. Think about that. So you have to monitor the health of, and there's 32 teams in the league, 34 teams now. 32. Okay, so you've got to monitor that many people. I mean, that's insanity. I mean, what are you going to do? Keep the teams quarantined all week? You can't see your families during the regular season kind of thing.
Ugh. Yeah, that'd be rough.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's that damn Wu flu.
I'm fucking telling you, dude. The Wu flu ain't nothing to fuck with.
The Kung flu, bros. I don't.
All I can think of is that fucking Hong Kong Phooey cartoon.
Yeah, Hong Kong Phooey.
Hong Kong Phooey. That's it. Oh shit. That's just I can't even. I just that's what I think of. I don't know. That's what
I was gonna say. Speaking of stuff that could be comparable as worse than the Wu flu, night 2 started off with Natalia versus Liv Morgan.
Oh God, we didn't even get to that. Wait, what? So the Undertaker and AJ Styles.
Yeah, shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was the last one on night 1. I was gonna say before because I was just getting ready to jump back to that one, but yeah. So Taker went over Styles. You saw this one, right, Kendo?
I did.
Okay, give us your rundown of this one.
So, if you're wanting to watch a wrestling match, that's not going to happen here. If you're wanting to watch a wrestling-based match take place outside of a ring in a cemetery, you kind of got that. If you're just interested in seeing something and you're totally cool with the idea of watching wrestling, but as performance art in a cemetery with essentially it's an extremely broke dick version of the final deletion.
Oh no.
So it's essentially AJ Styles. Okay, so AJ Styles is there, and the Undertaker is the American badass. He comes rolling up on his motorcycle, and they have a fight in the goddamn graveyard. And Gallows and Anderson show up, and Undertaker one punch KOs both of them essentially. They brawl back and forth, and then the Undertaker gets the upper hand and proceeds to just pound the shit out of AJ. AJ digs a grave, digs a hole, and he's like, "Look, I dug a grave." And Undertaker's like, "That's your grave, boy," or something like that. And AJ, he throws him into it or something like that. And then he throws a little dirt on him, which I was under the understanding that once you throw somebody in the hole and put dirt on them, you win the buried alive match.
Yep.
But apparently
usually
not in this case. So he goes to get a tractor to go push the dirt over the top of the Undertaker, but the Undertaker teleports behind him and beats him up, throws him into the
transmission and shit.
Yeah, throws him into the hole, and AJ literally says, "Please don't bury me." And then he's, gets buried, but then his hand shoots up through the grave, and whatever. It was a glorious shit show.
Oh, God.
A glorious one.
It's one of those things. Based on my interactions online, people are having two opinions of the matter, and there's no gray area. This was fantastic, or this was fucking garbage. Didn't have Michael Cole talking over it because there was no announcer, so that helped a lot. Because I didn't have to hear, oh my, every time something happened, like when AJ broke a tombstone over the Undertaker's head. So I didn't have any of that. But yeah, so there's that, and then there's people in that group that I added you into,
Mm.
the Monday Night Raw group, that were actually posting R.I.P. AJ Styles. It's like, yeah, he died. Undertaker buried him and he's dead. It's like, you guys are stupid. Yes, that happened, but it didn't actually happen the way you think it did.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was the end of night one. It was the Undertaker burying AJ Styles, which, I mean, you could take that so many ways, where he tells him, please don't bury me.
Yeah.
But I know exactly what they were meaning it to. It was essentially, I guess, a shot at the smart audience.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's kind of like, if there's anybody that could bounce back from such a thing, it would be AJ Styles, because he's just that good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's still got gas left in the tank.
Yeah, he's a fresh young chicken at the age of 42.
Yep.
But he could still go.
And that's a testament to him too, because he's been through some hellacious matches, more so in TNA than
TNA.
Yep. But yeah, he was like top tier in TNA for a long time.
He carried that brand, I would say, for the better part of 5 years.
Oh,
yeah, 4 or 5 years. It was AJ was the top person, and then he left and went to Japan.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's when they started the whole the Bullet Club thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shortly before that, because
and that was like
no, because the Bullet Club existed before he got there. Because fucking Finn Balor started the Bullet Club.
Finn Balor, that's who it was. Yeah, so
he started the Bullet Club, and then AJ showed up, and then I think Finn left shortly thereafter, and so AJ kind of ran the Bullet Club for a while.
Mm-hmm. That was so over too, the Bullet Club gimmick.
Oh yeah. Well, the majority of the people in the Bullet Club were, not Japanese, and that's, I think, why it was so over. It was like their version of the NWO, and the NWO was our version of what they had going on over there, even though Eric Bischoff claims that while he went to Japan a lot and was very involved and very well, inside the lives of several of the major Japanese promoters, he in no way stole what they had there to create the NWO. It's like, really?
It's funny too, because if you play video games at all, Tekken 7 has like because it's a Japanese made game, obviously, but they have, like, if you unlock shit on there, you can create, you can kind of give the characters their own like gear, and they have a Bullet Club t-shirt and gimmick in there, so I thought that was funny. That was pretty sweet. So yeah, definitely the Bullet Club definitely had influence over there quite a bit.
Yeah, it was huge. I don't know if it still is, because the main people have all left.
Right, yeah. Speaking of Tekken 7, they actually added Negan from Walking Dead on there as a character. Just a little side note.
One show I never got into.
Don't let Pete hear you say that. That's his shit right there.
He can love The Walking Dead all he wants. It's not for me. It's like I fight the same fight on the World Class Bullshitters channel with the people that love Lord of the Rings. They're like, Lord of the Rings is great. Like, I find it to be incredibly boring. I mean, if you want to like it, that's fantastic. I personally am not a fan.
I never got into that either, man. I never got into the Lord of the Rings or the or what was that, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, all that shit. Never got into it. That wasn't.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say Harry Potter never got into it. Game of Thrones, yes, because I had read the books.
Oh, okay. Well, I heard it was a great show. I never really took a lot of appeal to the medieval stuff. Some medieval stuff is cool. I don't know. I was just
no, dude. My friend showed me the first season. I was like, this is fantastic. He goes, yeah, it's based off a book. So then I proceeded to read 3 of the 5 books between seasons 1 and 2. And I was like, this is great. And then season 2 came out, and then I finished reading the books before the 3rd season. And then that's all the books, because George Martin hasn't written the rest of it yet, but the TV show passed them, and
Yeah.
it's a testament to the TV show that they started essentially 6 seasons behind and were able to catch up, lap the guy, and then finish it off before he could even get his next book out. It's like, the fuck are you doing, George? Write a book.
You're almost seeing the same thing with The Walking Dead. Like that's, with The Walking Dead, I was kind of like how you're just saying, like The Walking Dead was a graphic novel, and I read the novels. So I got, I like the show. But yeah, so basically that's kind of what happened with The Walking Dead. Like I think they wrapped up the novels now. I could be wrong, but so I don't know what they're gonna do with the show. The shows go, but see, The Walking Dead, they're doing all these like freaking spin-offs. I'm surprised they haven't decided.
I'm sorry.
What
they delayed that World Beyond.
The World Beyond, yeah.
That looks like a bunch of Fruit Loop crap, though. Like the Fear of the Walking Dead's terrible. I don't ever try to sell anybody on The Walking Dead. I'm not one of those. If you don't like it, it's one of those shows where you either like it or you don't. And I've been watching it since the beginning, and I read the whole comic run like 3 times, and I love the comics. I got pissed when Kirkman ended it because of the way he ended it. Just Rick gets fucking, spoiler alert, Rick gets offed out of nowhere by some fucking throwaway character. It's like, what the fuck? And then they just
and then the old man Carl thing.
Yep, I know. I was looking forward to that too. And it wasn't a good ending. The show, the show, they've drug out these storylines way too long, and it's kind of like WrestleMania. It's just they've drug the angles on too long. They could have tied things up neater, and they wouldn't have lost their audience the way they did. So
I agree. I agree.
But yeah. So night 2 started with Liv Morgan and Natalia on the kickoff show.
I did not watch it. Liv Morgan is a sexy woman.
Oh my God, yes. I can.
And he's not bad either.
Yeah,
but Liv Morgan's just so damn adorable.
She's a fucking little smoke show, definitely.
Yeah, so fucked up bigly with that one.
Let's see who we got next. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. Charlotte went over via submission. I don't think that's a good move. I like Charlotte, but this Rhea Ripley is like, she seems to be like really over and is a solid worker, a good up and comer. I mean, why not give her the rub?
Because it's Charlotte. And,
well, yeah.
I mean, the match was good. They did a really good job with it. But I feel they made the most incorrect decision they could make by putting the belt on Charlotte. The way I explained it to people, it's like, you remember when the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl a few months ago? Yeah. Well, you remember when they took on the University of Alabama? They went out and challenged and took on the University of Alabama shortly thereafter for the national championship of college football. No, you don't, because once you are in the top tier and you're winning at the top level, you don't go down to developmental and fight people for their titles.
Yep.
So I thought that was weird how they did that to her.
Yeah, and as soon as they announced that was going to be the match, I was like, I know where this is going. Charlotte's going to win. I was like, it shouldn't be that way. If anything, what you do is, because this match went on, I think it was like 10 minutes, and a couple minutes into it, Charlotte went for a move, and Rhea hit her Riptide, which is her finisher. And if they would have let her pin it right there, and Charlotte could have sold the holy shit, what just happened, you can then have created a program where Charlotte and Rhea can battle against each other. And I mean, yeah, you could have it to where maybe Charlotte gets a win and takes the NXT title off of Rhea, and then have her come back to win the title at SummerSlam or something like that. That would have been a great way to go about it, because then, you could have had a program that went on for a few months. I know for nowadays it's instant gratification television. You can't have these slow burn storylines anymore, and you have to have the shit that just, wraps up right then and there. But they could have done something that, went on for several, months, and they could have, built it out all the way up to SummerSlam, and then, had Rhea, maybe win the title back and go over and get the rub. And it's like, here's your next major star. Look what she's done. But they might still continue to try to do that and just have her and Charlotte work a program together. But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, why would you take Charlotte, who's, her biggest gimmick? Her gimmick is the fact that she's Ric Flair's daughter, she's, the version of him, but it's abroad. And then she wins all these titles. She's the gazillion time champion. And then you turn around and just say, oh, by the way, we're going to have you go and take the developmental title off of our top star down there. We're not going to build her. We're not going to build a star. We're just going to go ahead and just take the title off her. It's like, why?
That's smart booking right there.
Yeah, it's like, what are you accomplishing with this?
Yeah.
Besides potentially just taking all of the fucking momentum away from your top female star in developmental.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm not knocking Charlotte's work because she can work, but at the same time, like you said, this move makes no sense because it's like the Chiefs going to play, the college, the NCAA champion. It doesn't happen because, like you said, the big leagues, you don't go down to developmental like that. It doesn't. No. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And like I said, that does a disservice to your young talent that you're trying to build, because then it's like you said, your whole push just gets squashed right there.
Right.
That's just ridiculous. And then, like I said, that's why people get fed up with WWE, is because just poor booking like that. Like, I mean, you don't. So
it's extremely short-sighted. It's like when they it's like when they took the title off Bray at Sweet Saudi Money Mania in order to give it to Goldberg because they wanted the two guys spearing each other championship match. It's like the most short-sighted booking possible. It's like you've got this character that is like a breath of fresh air on the main roster in The Fiend, and you job him to Goldberg, who peaked in 1998.
Yeah,
just to try to sell a massive championship match of two dudes spearing each other for 2 minutes.
Yep. And that's the thing is like when has WWE not screwed Bray Wyatt over?
At every chance they could get.
Yeah, exactly. They shank him. They hit him in the ribs with a prison shank every time they can. So I mean, it's just it doesn't. This guy's career has just been basically will be just a footnote because of bad booking.
Right.
I mean, and you just hate to see that because he's such a talented guy. I mean, God, he's another one of those dudes. He doesn't look like I mean, he looks like a wrestler, but he's not like the prototype, that Vince McMahon looks for. And like I said, again, I think that's why he kind of gets punished for it.
It's almost like, why book him then if you're just going to shit on him?
Because Vince can.
Yeah, because he can.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
You're dealing with a megalomaniacal, individual at the helm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, he brought in the entire NW. He bought ECW and WCW just so he could shit on him, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, I that's one of my things I really want to do is I want to rebook the invasion angle, and because that was such a missed opportunity. I mean, God, was that a missed opportunity?
Yes. Dude. At every turn, that was a missed opportunity. Jeff and I have spitballed the idea of rebooking certain things or booking towards the next pay-per-views and things like that to, for bonus content and stuff. So if you honestly wanted to sit down and rebook the invasion, I'm right there with you, because that was one of those things that I was starting to get out of wrestling at that point because the war was over.
Yeah.
There's no competition anymore. It's just WWE. It's like, I had just turned 18 at that point. I was busy, with work and finished up high school. So my priorities were not on Monday Night Raw television, but the concept of the invasion was I was like, oh man, this is going to be really sweet. And
I felt the same way.
The ball, it wasn't even so much the ball was dropped. It never landed anywhere near the fucking receiver. It's like, all you had to do was just, you'd already bought the company. Just spend a few extra dollars and book the invasion.
Yep.
Or just wait it out. Those guys' contracts will expire. They're going to be looking for work. So you can just slowly book the invasion. You can bring in some of those guys that are still, under contract.
Yep.
And, have them, job them out. You can job them out. And then, what do? They get pissed. What do they do when they get pissed? They call their buddies from WCW, and slowly but surely you make it happen. And then, shoehorning ECW in at the same time. It was like that doesn't make any sense.
No.
It had him pick a side, but to make it a 3-way, fist fuck, it's just like it's not going to work.
Well, then they took Austin and put him in charge of the Alliance, which made no fucking sense whatsoever.
None.
I was like, wait, what? So Austin turned on the Fed, and now he's repping WCW and ECW. That makes literally zero sense whatsoever.
No sense.
Like, it was just, it was stupid. I mean, and they had some of the fucking best, like, young guys out of WCW. Like, you had, like, the Natural Born Thrillers. I mean, not a lot of people ever talk, but you had, like, Mark Jindrak, Sean O'Hare, Chuck Palumbo, Sean Stasiak. You had Reno and Mike Sanders too, and Johnny the Bull at one point there, Big Vito's tag partner from the Mamalukes.
Yep.
So
the
Mamalukes, man.
Jesus.
I have all these guys created on fucking No Mercy, dude. I'm not even joking. I have Rick Fuller, Mike Enos, Wayne Bloom, Eric Watts. I mean, stupid guys from WCW. But you had that stable right there. I mean, 5 of those guys are solid B tier workers that you could have turned into, and they tried to with Jindrak. Palumbo had to run with Billy and Chuck, but I mean, that was cringy. But I mean, it got over. I mean, I still remember the wedding gimmick they did, but Jesus,
Billy and Chuck, yeah.
The invasion was totally botched. I mean, it was like you said, you sit on it and work it in slowly, buy out the big contracts. You don't throw Booker T and Buff Bagwell out there, switch your whole Monday night show over to all of a sudden it's got Nitro stuff and a WCW referee, and then expect the crowd not to shit on it when you put Buff Bagwell and Booker T out there.
Buff the stuff.
I mean, and I love both those guys to death, man. But that was just a horrible idea. Like, why? And then, I was reading an article the other day. Arn Anderson was talking about how they were telling the announcers when Sting showed up at Mania to work, was it Triple H? That the announcers were like told to just fucking bury him.
Yeah, and he didn't know that it wasn't so much that he was told to bury him, that they also said that the idea of the NWO like coming out, Kevin Nash didn't know until day of.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, me watching it, when I'm watching it, I'm like, why the fuck is the NWO coming out to help Sting?
I'm like, that was like the rivalry. Sting hated the NWO.
Yeah. The NWO would never come out to help Sting. DX would come out to help Triple H. We all know that, but NWO would never come out to help Sting.
Nope. Only if it was the red and black.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh my God, I was the biggest mark for that.
Oh wait. Speaking of which, hang on a second here. I need to grab something because I haven't announced it yet, but we're gonna do a. I'm not gonna do it tonight, but it'll be the next episode. We're gonna do a giveaway. I just got to figure out what I want to do for it. But I have, speaking of the NWO red and black, I've had this since like it's dated, I think 97 or 98, 28 by 42, original, NWO Wolfpack flag. I've already got 2 of them.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm going to be giving this away. I just got to figure out, how we're going to do the giveaway. So that'll be the first giveaway for the wrestling podcast. So that is
nice. I like that.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that next show, I think. But yeah, so that's yes, but no, Sting's not gonna get an assist from the NWO at any stretch of the imagination or turn. Considering
except for that WrestleMania match he did with Triple H when the NWO came out. Remember that?
But like I said, he shouldn't have. They shouldn't have. And that's like you said, Kendo. They didn't tell Nash till the day of because Nash would have been like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, be like, why would we be fucking going to help? Why would we go to help him?
No,
yeah,
it's not a bad good
like no, he it was the whole gimmick was him chasing us around with bats, and because we always took advantage of him, and him and Hogan's rivalry. I mean, that was you don't. You don't do that. It's just, it doesn't make sense. It's like Vince was just like, oh, they're all WCW guys. Fuck it, they don't care.
We won the war. It's like, Vince, that war has been over for fucking 20 years almost at this point.
Yeah.
it's like that meme where you see Vince's face and all the faded images of like the Monday Night Wars and like the NWO. You know, Vince is like he's like having flashbacks of it. 83 weeks they beat us.
Man, I was the biggest Sting mark growing up, man. I still am. I fucking love Sting, dude. I can't help it.
I remember when he was in, what was it, the Blade Runners? Was it? Yeah, Blade Runners with him and Warrior.
Yeah, him and Warrior.
Oh man, everything. It doesn't even matter. Colorful Sting, black and white Sting, red and black Sting, modern day Sting, sunglasses, no makeup Sting. I was a fucking mark for it.
The Wolfpack iteration of Sting, that was in that whole Wolfpack thing was like you had Nash, Macho Man, Conan, Luger, Lex Luger, Sting, and then was it Rey Mysterio in there for a minute at the end too? I think. Yeah, Ray got tossed in there, and you know, then you had Disco Inferno was like just trying to join anything he could.
Yeah, I think Disco was in the Wolfpack there towards the end.
He was. Remember, he was in the NWO team because who the fuck was he? Ran up to that backstage. He's like, Nash said I'm in. Nash said I'm in. I was like,
oh Jesus.
And I don't want to say the guy's name on air because he might hear this one, but that reminds me of a guy that was in the locker room at the last stop on my tour with our stable. It was funny because like when we got going, we ordered our t-shirts because I ordered these t-shirts, the team rating shirts, and when I got those, dude, everybody wanted to join our fucking stable. The boys were backstage buying shirts from us. I mean, it was kind of funny, dude. It's like me and James are like, what the fuck, dude? Like, really? All right, you want to buy a shirt? Fuck, all right, cool, $12. You know,
it's sad if you work a worker, bro. You got talent.
Hey, I sold cars, man. I did,
You probably could sell a turd to a rich man, couldn't you?
I can sell a ketchup popsicle to a woman in white gloves. I mean, I married a woman that made it possible for me to stay home and fucking just run a YouTube channel, and I don't have to go.
You got it, bro.
Dad, so.
You're winning. You're winning.
I'm just saying. I mean, I've made a couple decisions that were right in my life, and all the bad ones I've made, at least a couple have been spot on. There you go. Fucking do something right, Let's see. So we can. Let's see. So we had Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley. Black went over in this one.
Yeah, nobody cared. It's perfect for an empty arena because there was zero heat, zero interest. Nobody cared about this match.
I do like Aleister Black though.
He's solid. He's a good worker, I think.
Yeah,
I like his gimmick. I like it.
Mm-hmm. See that, and it's funny. Do you see a pattern here? Every time there's a guy, we're talking about, it's like he's a good worker, but they book him worse shit. I mean,
yeah.
It's just it's a running theme, and it's like you would think somebody would tell Vince at some point in time that it's like, hey Vince. No, he'd be like, you're fired. It doesn't matter. I do whatever I want.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. He's a billionaire. He doesn't give a shit.
They're my toys. Because
exactly.
He treats these guys like fucking just like he does. They're like toys, When he's done, he throws them away, and AEW picks them up at the resale shop.
But it goes way better with them.
Exactly. That's the thing. Because AEW is like, well, we can take from what WCW did, we can take from what WWE did, and we can take the good aspects of it and leave the shit out. I mean, that's kind of what it, and we're not going to talk about Impact because I don't want to get angry. Otis.
We know some guys on Impact though. So.
We do know some guys on Impact. Some fuck good dudes.
Yep.
Otis and Dolph Ziggler. Otis, when I don't even know who Otis is, to be honest with you. Otis. Oh, is he from the Wrecking Machines or whatever their name was?
Heavy Machinery, yeah. Otis Dozovic. Although now he's just Otis.
Okay.
Because you're not allowed to have more than one name on the main roster.
Oh, that's good. And he got to pick up who's that? Mandy Rose.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Real thick. I like that.
Yep, she is a gorgeous woman.
Edge and Orton, you said that was just kind of that went on too long.
Yeah, it was like a 38-minute match that should have only lasted half that at most. It should have been like a 20-minute match.
Now I heard that was awesome though. Like I heard that match was like top notch. I mean,
yeah, they did a great job doing it. I mean, the two of them worked really well together. There's actually, some history. There's some heat to the match.
Yeah.
There's a reason to take
Oh, yeah.
place. But it's an empty arena, last man standing match. There was one spot where they fought into where the weights are at, and Orton tried to strangle Edge with a weight machine cable.
Oh no, that's not a good look.
No, especially on the heels of the
can bend this son of a bitch.
Yeah, especially on the fact that on the heels of the Dark Side of the Ring shit.
Yeah,
where Benoit's story was the one that debuted 2 weeks ago.
Oh, Jesus!
The 2-hour special.
That's probably why they did it, though. Think about it. It is wrestling.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, Edge and Benoit were like really good buddies.
Yeah.
So I would like to think that if they said, "Hey, we're gonna do a spot, we're gonna make fun of the Dark Side of the Ring and Chris Benoit, we're gonna have Orton try to strangle you with his fucking Bowflex
think
cable."
about, but think about it.
Edge would be like, "Yeah, nah, we ain't doing that." I guarantee it was one of those spots that they put it in there. Edge probably just didn't even think about it. They probably just told Orton, be like, "Hey, when you get a chance and you guys are fighting in the weight room, get him close to one of those, pull down machines, grab a lat cable, swinging around his neck."
Yeah, but let's look.
The certain people will get it.
Well, the WWE does this kind of bullshit because think about years ago. Okay, I remember this one where Shawn Michaels and Divine Intervention was his tag team partner, because everybody knows Shawn Michaels is a religious person.
Yep.
And they did the God as his tag team partner in a handicap match, and he went along with that. I mean, I don't put anything past wrestling anymore. And the fact, and speaking of Edge, when they played along with the Matt Hardy, Edge, and Lita angle, I mean,
yeah,
I don't fucking put it past them, dude. I mean, they knew exactly what they were doing.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him, but saying that, a born again Christian guy is being booked with God as his tag partner and having a spotlight's one thing.
Yeah.
Taking like the darkest chapter in wrestling history, modern wrestling history, and say, we're going to go ahead and make a callback to it, while it's being once again being fresh in the minds of everybody because of the documentary. I don't know. That seemed a little too on the nose.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just keeping an open mind here because, I mean, even if you remember the Shawn Michaels and Divine Intervention angle, I do. It was very sacrilegious, and a lot of the bullshit that Vince McMahon, like his promos were, very sacrilegious.
Yep.
And as a man of God, like Shawn Michaels is, I would have been like, hey, man, we need to maybe not do this.
Shit, the last 20 years,
so who knows?
You had the dark.
No, you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
You had the Divine Intervention, and then now you got Seth Rollins running around calling himself the fucking Monday Night Messiah, selling a T-shirt, of him looking like Jesus in stained glass, and finding disciples. It's like,
I can't.
What are the religious groups to come out of the woodwork here to try to shut this shit down? Just because, of anything to save us from terrible programming.
Yeah. What about when
I can't talk?
Oh, go ahead, man.
No, I was gonna say I can't talk too much shit on this part because I built my entire independent career on a sacrilegious angle. So
yeah, I was gonna say you're a preacher, man.
Yeah, I completely did the whole holy gimmick and priest gimmick, and I'm surprised I didn't get messed with on shows. I mean, I'm surprised. I really, because I pulled this fucking gimmick off in churches, man. I mean,
yeah, but I would like to think that in the time period you guys were doing it, most people were smartened up to the fact that wrestling was not, 100% thing. If you'd been trying to do that in like the 60s or 70s, somebody probably would have killed you.
Yeah. Well, and also I tried my damnedest not to make it too blasphemous because I mean I did grow up. Like my father was a minister, so I grew up in a Christian household. Not necessarily that I practice or believe it now, but I also don't, I don't believe in shitting on any religion. So I tried to make it heel, but legitimate at the same time to where I wasn't, being like too, offensive with that gimmick. So, yeah, I mean, I think it did okay. I didn't get shot or struck by lightning. So
It's always a plus.
There you go.
It's always a plus. Let's see here. I mean, you also got to remember Raven crucified the Sandman, and that kept Kurt Angle out of ECW.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right.
Then they had to go out
You're
and issue an
right.
apology the following week. You know?
Yeah, I was gonna say Vince is, when it comes to trying to say like, you know, sacrilegious this and that, Vince has a very cavalier attitude towards that shit.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, Vince doesn't care. All Vince cares about is money.
Right.
That's it.
He does too. Yeah, you're right.
That's it. Let's see. Next Raw Tag Team Championship: Street Profits versus Angel Garza and Austin Theory. Street Profits. Let's see. They went over in that one.
I like those guys.
I have no idea who they are.
They're bubbly, man. I like it.
They're semi-entertaining in the right instances.
Okay.
But it's one of those very small doses type things.
You're not gonna be able to push them in a serious angle, but I mean a mid card. Let's have fun.
Yep.
Be bubblegummy. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Let's see. SmackDown Women's Championship: Bayley versus the Glorified Stripper versus Lacey Evans versus Jimmy Snuka reincarnated as his daughter versus Naomi. Okay, and Bayley went over on Lacey Evans to retain the title. Bayley is I never really, I mean, I respect her, but I never really cared for Bayley. She's just kind of meh for me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, she's all right. Like, I mean, I got her gimmick when she was, you know, in NXT. She was like the fan that became the wrestler. She was just happy to be there. She could go. Her butt looks really great in those pants.
It does.
Pretty much what her entire gimmick was. And I mean, on the main roster, they've bungled that incredibly, you know, gloriously, horrifyingly badly. But that's to be expected because that's the main roster and it's not NXT where Triple H is calling the shots. They've turned her heel and she got a Karen haircut and that's about it.
Oh God.
A Karen haircut.
She's just kind of
very nice.
She's just kind of just an arrogant dick. And that's pretty much heel Bayley.
All right.
You're actually hitting a nail in the head here. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they're like this match. This match is kind of like this is just cramming people on a card. Bayley versus Sasha Banks. That would be a women's title WrestleMania match. Nobody else on that card, you know, would fit the bill because Tamina, what has she ever done besides look mean and job out? Lacey Evans, what's she ever done besides try to look really good and then eventually just job it out?
Yep.
And Naomi sometimes is booked to look good, sometimes she's booked to look terrible.
Yep. Yeah, see, I'm not much of a Sasha Banks fan at all. I think I think she's a damn good looking woman. I don't see her as much in the ring. I don't know. But
she's one of those that when she's motivated and it's the right program, she looks fantastic.
Yep. That's it. You're right. You're right there. That's it. And if it's kind of like she goes through the motions a lot, is what it amounts to.
NXT Sasha was great.
Yep.
Original main, you know, her first, you know, run on the main roster with when her and Charlotte were trading the title back and forth.
Yeah,
she was great. But you put her in any other program, it's like she just doesn't give a shit.
Yep. She plays down to her competition most of the time. It seems like it's just kind of like meh, whatever. You know. Let's see. Then we got Cena versus The Fiend in the Firefly Funhouse match.
I heard that match was awesome. I mean, I didn't see it, but I heard it was awesome.
It was fun. It was one of those things where it's like, it's not really even a match. It's like you had to just essentially sit down and say, for the next 15 minutes, I'm going to be watching performance theater, but different than the performance theater I watched last night with Undertaker burying AJ Styles.
I wonder if I can find that match.
Like essentially it was a traveling through time. Like I don't really know how to describe it other than there was puppets. There was a puppet of Vince McMahon. There was Cena. Cena, modern day Cena re-debuting wearing the outfit he wore when he came out for the ruthless aggression against Kurt Angle.
Nice.
All the Firefly Funhouse puppets were there, doing various different things. It was essentially just pretty much everything that's taken place in the career of John Cena and Bray Wyatt all bundled together in a weird mind fuck of a match that they did a fucking fantastic job editing it all together, and Bray went over and Cena vanished into the ether.
Damn.
Like the
I'm pulling that match up right now.
Fiend puts the mandible claw on Cena. I think Bray Wyatt, uncle, friendly neighborhood, Mr. Rogers Bray counts the 3, and then Cena just vaporizes or something like that. It was one of those. I watched it in a bit of a drunken stupor Monday night, and was that last night? Yeah, last night. The shit's all running.
Stupor.
Yeah, I was gonna say the last 3 weeks have just kind of all blended together into one glob, and it was very entertaining. It was way more entertaining than it had any right to be.
Well, hey,
that's good though.
As long as they got it over, you know what I mean. That's big, that is big.
I was gonna say the feel for it online. It's not the same as the buried alive match, where it was polarizing. Some people loved it, some people hated it. With this one, most people loved it, unless you're a Cena mark, in which case you hated it.
Yeah, he's at the point of his career now. It's like, dude, you gotta put people over. I understand. And I won't knock John Cena because he does a lot for the Make-A-Wish, and that's an awesome thing. I don't mind him, but at this, personally, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's time to start putting people over. You can still get your shine, but you're always going to be John Cena. But at the same time, you got to give the other guys the rub.
There is enough meta shit in this match where that John Cena sat down with Bray Wyatt and they wrote it out together.
Okay.
So Cena, I guarantee you could tell that the two of them sat down and locked themselves in a room and said, "This is what we're going to do." And he walked into Vince's office and said, "Here's what we're going to do." Vince is like, "Well, I'm thinking." And he goes, "No, this is what we're going to do," because Cena has that much suction probably still with Vince.
Oh, for sure.
And you could tell that the only two people having anything to do with writing this match out and what happened in this was Bray Wyatt and John Cena.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. I don't want the booking committee to tell me how the match is going to go. I want the guy, the two guys that are doing the match. Now, obviously, you got to go with the outcome that the office wants, but at the same time, how you get there is up to you. I don't want to hear from an agent. Well, they want you to do this spot. No, fuck you. We'll pick our spots. We're the ones going out there. We know what spots we're going to do. You know what I mean? Unless there's a specific point they're trying to get you to making the promo. And even then, I don't like scripted promos. I hate it. I always hated that when, they're trying to
I
tell
never did it.
Nope, me either. It was always,
never.
What do we want for the end result? That's what we need to get to. I'll get us there then. That's
I got give me some guidelines and then I'm going to work off of it.
Yep. I never wanted anything. Manny used to try to do that to me all the time. Well, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to script. No, don't, because I'm going to forget it. All right. Because I'm going to go out to the parking lot and smoke with Brandon and the boys before the fucking show 2 or 3 times. So I'm going to forget it. So I always had note cards, but no, that's I like that. I'm going to have to try to find that match now. I actually want to watch that. And that brings us to the main event of night 2. The WWE Championship, Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre, and McIntyre went over via pinfall to win the title.
Good.
Correct result. Again, it was a 4-minute title match where they just spammed finishers. Brock hit a couple F5s, Drew kicked out, and then Drew hits him with a Claymore, 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 pin for the win.
Oh, so it's kind of like when Rollins went over on him for the Universal title a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
that's about what that sounds like. Because he came out, did the curb stomp and a couple other gimmicks, and it was over with.
Pretty much. That's more or less what happened last night or Sunday night.
Yeah. Well, that honestly was like, that sounds like a terribly underwhelming card. I mean, even if it was in front of a crowd, you know, you got a few high spots, obviously, but I mean, for the most part, it's just kind of like you said, it's a lot of filler.
Yeah, it's a glorified TV taping.
Yep, you could and like I said, you could trim, you know, if I was booking that, I would have trimmed the fat out of that card. And I mean, honestly, I understand you want WrestleMania to be a spectacle, but if you're going to give the crowd, what would, you know, as an audience member, I would rather have, you know, 7 to 8 solid awesome matches than, you know, like 3 or 4 good matches, one really awesome one, and then like a bunch of just trash that I'm going to be over buying concessions or going to the bathroom during.
Right.
You know, that's how I always looked at a card. But we're going on 2 hours here, and I said we wouldn't go that long. So I think this might be a good spot to end it off. That was kind of breaking down the WrestleMania card. Kendo, thank you, man, for joining us this evening. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem.
And you are absolutely welcome to come back anytime. Hopefully we'll build to another, like I said, we're going to do the giveaway, but yeah, man, you're more than welcome to come back anytime, brother. And I'll get with you and we'll talk about that WCW invasion thing too.
Definitely.
Will, thank you for coming on, bro. And I'm going to get you on the Monday night show, because we're coming up on episode 100 here pretty soon. So I'll be sending you a link to get on the big stream here pretty soon. So stay tuned.
Looking forward to it.
All
Thank
right.
you. Yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Franchise History TV. Keely Chow's in there. Salvador was in there a little while ago. I think I saw. That's about it this evening. But I appreciate everybody coming out and listening. If you're listening to this in the future, here's Kosi. Great show, gentlemen. Thank you, man. Be sure to click that subscribe button. I seem to have dropped a subscriber. So if you're not already subscribed, click that button. Keep me above that 200 mark. We just announced the watch party for the 200 subscriber. We're going to watch UHF, Weird Al Yankovic and Michael Richards. One of my damn favorite, just kind of
fantastic movie.
Oh, I love it, dude. We're gonna do a watch party for that, and then next month we will be doing a 40th anniversary live watch party for not only my favorite Star Wars movie, but one of my favorite movies overall, The Empire Strikes Back, turns 40 on May 21st. So the 23rd, Saturday night, we're going to be doing a live stream watch party, the Blu-ray of Empire Strikes Back. And I will have all that information posted on our social media. You guys know where it is. I'll post a link to that in the description. And until then, I am Tepwakuina, the place to be reviews. I've been here with all of yous. And if I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow. And oh yeah, tomorrow, the video you're getting from me is a Cleveland Brown review of Halloween 2018. I told you guys that review was going to come out, and it'll be out tomorrow. So have a great night, be safe, and take care of your families. Thank you all for being here, and have a great evening.